My name is Shane Shingledecker,
I'm Sumaia Shingledecker.
and we were married here at Emmanuel on August 14th at 2 o'clock on a beautiful Sunday afternoon by Pastor Alex. And I am the third generation here at Emmanuel. My grandparents, Ray and LaWanda Anderson, then my mother, Corliss Anderson Shingledecker, and then me, and then my sister, of course, my sister LaVon. And then I was married once before, and I have two beautiful children, Scott and Seth Shingledecker, which were also baptized, went through Sunday school, confirmation. My sons both went through everything, but they really don't attend church too much. Well, of course, Scott's in the Army, so he can't really attend church right now, but Seth, he follows he loves the faith and he loves the Lord, but he just worships in his own way. But me, come to church is something that I look forward to every week.
So I met Shane through no trying of my own. Other than I prayed for someone like him, and then 3 weeks later he showed up in my life. Yes, and this is why it's important to have faith. Because I had given up on everybody that I've dated in the past. I've given up on fake promises and everything else. And the only thing I ever had that sustained me in life was always my faith. And so the last thing that I figured I could do for a potential mate in life was to pray about it. That was my last resort, which should have always been my first. But it was my last resort. And I prayed on him, and 3 weeks later he showed up, and he was the best friend that I had been looking for my whole adult life. He was a person who was kind naturally. Like, he wasn't putting on airs. He wasn't trying to impress me. It's just his way. He is joyful even when things look dark and bleak, and he lifts me up to once again keep faith. Like, everything's gonna be okay. Just like he told you, things are gonna be okay. You just gotta believe. Like, okay, fine. And it's easier to do that when you have a person pushing you too. So the church home that I had previously to seeing him, it actually shut down like a month before I met him. They were looking for a new building and all of this stuff. So I didn't even have a church home anymore to go to. So when he suggested that I come visit his church, just come for a visit. I mean, this was like maybe our third date was church.
Yeah, I believe it was. It was very early in our getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Basically. And I invited her to church. And she came?
And I came, and I fell in love with
She loved it.
I was like, oh my goodness.
She loves her some Pastor Alex, too.
I think, okay, so yes, I do love Pastor Alex. I love him because he's honest. You know, in his speaking, his feeling of the word. It's honest. There's no pretense. You know, he's just Alex. He's telling you what the word says. You can take it however you want to take it. If you have questions, ask me. You know, he's like that, and I think that's very cool. He's comfortable. He's easy. He's like you. He's comfortable and easy. It was easy to love him because of his faith. I had never seen that before as a young single woman who wasn't any younger anymore. But it's like, you know, after all these experiences that I've had, I didn't see this before, and it was all because of his faith. He was funny, yes. He has a wicked sense of humor, but at the end of the day, he's one of the best people that you could ever know, just because he knows the Lord. Like, he knows him. Like, he will tell you how he's covered in the blood of Christ, and he has no problem telling you that. Where a lot of people are afraid to share that And I was like, oh my goodness, I could talk to him about stuff. You know? And I don't have to feel ashamed with him in my life, and that's because of our faith.
My day-to-day faith walk, I believe how I bestow that onto others is just natural for me. It just comes out in conversation without it meaning to be. It's always just been easier for me to learn, talk, and worship the Lord than it has been for anything else. School, I struggled in my whole life. But when I would come here for like a test or a test through catechism, I'd get like a 98%. At school, I could never pass a test. And I just kept seeing that over and over again. All the time in my life. Anytime something happened, the Lord was there to pick me up, brush me off, and keep me going. And I think that people see that in me. So they see the joy, and they see that I'm an open spirit, and I believe that makes me an easier person to talk to about faith because they feel it within our interaction. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I could be at a gas station and I strike up a conversation, and it ends up being towards a faith-based conversation. Friends at work, we talk about the Lord quite a bit and our faith, and how we've gotten through stuff because of the Lord. And I think anybody that knows me and gets to know me knows that I have a faith base, and it's a strong faith base, and it's never questioned.
Well, how I go through my life every day, it's what my parents were taught and how they taught me. It's just to be kind. Don't expect anything in return from anybody else. This is just what you're supposed to do. The Lord doesn't ask us for anything else other than to be kind, right? So I start out that way first. And then it's the other things of having faith. No matter what happens to you throughout the day, you can keep going, and you have to keep going, but you can, even when you think you can't, because of faith. Like, just like what he told me, he tells me all the time, because I forget. I forget that, things are going to be okay. You just got to keep going. Put one foot in front of the other. He got you. He has me. He's always had me, even when I don't think he has me. He has me in his arms. Those two are the most important things that have carried me throughout my life since the time I was a little girl. Be kind and have faith. And so everywhere I go, and I've had some rough early morning gigs and late night gigs when you have to work and you just like, I don't even know how I'm going to get home, or, in these tough COVID times, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go back to work. I've had COVID. And so, I can't like certain things I can't remember half the time. I'm not as sharp as I was, and I know it's from that sickness. And it's like, but just put one foot in front of the other, just slow steps, just keep going. Have faith that no matter what happens to you, he has you in his arms. So that's how I lived my life. That's what I was taught through school, through my parents, and that is what I know has sustained me and keeps me going.
My favorite part of a Sunday worship service is walking in the door and always seeing Jeff and Jerry and greeting them, and then looking into the church and walking up to the pew, just wondering what the service might be and how it will affect me. I love it when we have special guests, like the orchestra this morning, or the piece of the, I love it when we have that little praise band every once in a while. That's a real big thing that just makes me smile. And of course, I'd say the number one thing for me on a Sunday morning is taking communion. I look forward to it every Sunday. Take a communion every Sunday.
When I come here to Emmanuel for service, I don't necessarily look for anything other than what's already here, and that's comfort. This place is the most comfortable, most kind. It's the nicest environment to serve. Everybody has their arms open. Everybody's here to do something or can show you how to do something. There's a club for this, there's a club for that, and there's someone here that can say, well, the person who heads up, this division isn't here today, but here's their information if you want to get involved. It's like everyone's involved in something here, which I need to get better at. I'm just saying. But if I want it, it's here. There's a great sense of community. And if nothing else, that's what I was looking for. And I got it. I have it every time I show up.
For me, with Pastor Alex's sermons, I love how he puts his own
spin.
His own feeling, or the things that's happened to him in his life, to about how it's gotten him through, or whatever the story might be, or the service might be. I love it how he puts what's happened to him, so that way we grow to learn more about him. Mm-hmm. We get to share a little bit in his life of what his past has been, and where he's come from and what he's done when he went through seminary. Like the service that really stood out for me lately was when he talked about the baptismal fount that they walked through when he was in seminary. Mm-hmm. That really, really just caught me, when they walked through the baptismal fount, and then the workers were cleaning stuff up and they put the caution wet floor. It made me really think, wow, you know what? It is hard being a Christian, because that caution sign is the Lord's telling you, listen, if you go into that, if you're baptized and you're washing the blood of Christ, you're going to be challenged no matter what. But if you walk my walk, you're going to be given the promised land. But to get there is a long, long journey. And being a Christian is hard. I mean, of course, it's no secret that I was in prison for a part of my life. And, of course, I was attending church in prison. And it just kept my faith going. And when I came back to Emmanuel, nobody cared. They greeted me with open arms, and all they wanted to do is ask how I was and if they could do anything for me. And it was like I never left. I know that not all churches can stay open, and we have had several in Washtenaw County that has closed, and one being St. Mark's. And to me, I don't know what I would do if that happened to here at Emmanuel. I just know that I try to give as much tithes as I can to do my part to make sure the doors of Emmanuel stay open. And I always look, what I make, because I don't make the same every week, but whatever it is, I'm always giving something. I always make sure I give something no matter what it is. And doing that, I hope and pray that other congregation members are doing the same, so that we can stay here and worship, because we're a church family. We have been since ever I can remember, and everybody works together. And I've seen things that we've needed to have done, and the congregation came together, and we've gotten the money to do it. The roof, the lounge, and other projects. And that's my hope, that we never have to worry about closing down and departing and going somewhere else to live our faith life out.
Well, I've had a lot of church homes, especially growing up. But as an adult, Emmanuel's number one for me. You know, I have no need to go anywhere else. I haven't felt the need to go anywhere since I started coming here. It's been, everyone's been welcoming. Alex, he's simple in his approach. It's easy to understand. He doesn't make you feel less than if you don't understand. He always has a door open if you want to come ask him questions. And like I said, the sense of community here trumps anywhere that I've been, as an adult, honestly.
What I find very stimulating from Maia is being around someone that and blessed to be married to that knows all this information. It helps me even my stronger being stronger in faith and wanting to learn more and asking more questions, and really thinking about what the pastor says and going, does that apply to me? Or having I get that. Or seeing it apply in your life somewhere down the line. Or you go, that's happened to me before too. When a service is, when pastor, whoever the pastor is, I understand it now and I get it. And that's what makes me feel more at home here and more of the love through Jesus Christ and the Lord, because I understand what they're saying. And before I didn't get it. But it makes a huge difference with people around you, like my beautiful wife, my gorgeous wife, that can teach me things as well. And I think that's why our union is as strong as it is. And I hope that the Emmanuel union stays as strong and their door stays open forever.